Hey guys, Shades here. Didn't want to come on camera for this and actually wanted to kind of give you guys a visual example. So you guys are going to see some footage of the game that I'm going to be talking about here in this little vlog. This won't be a soapbox because this is not a rant. This is my thoughts. This is going to be about Mario Kart 8, which I just picked up. And this is also my opportunity to really give a test out of my capture card to see how well this holds up. As you can see, it's able to record in glorious HD, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. But anyway, Mario Kart. Of course, Mario Kart 8, the newest iteration of the Mario Kart franchise, just released today at the time of this recording, which is May 30th, 2014. Actually, first of all, real quick, on a personal story here, I want to mention that I actually had ordered this game, pre-ordered this from Walmart, and I'd ordered it for standard shipping, like free shipping, and they were planning on, and it said it was going to give it to me by June 11th through June 13th. That was the earliest it was saying was June 11th. So Come to today. We get a knock at the door, or my wife is getting ready to leave to take care of something, and all of a sudden there's a package at the door. Wait, what? I get the game at launch day, which blew my mind because I was not expecting it for a few weeks. I was very excited about that. Walmart, if you're out, anyone at Walmart's watching this, thank you very much. Trust me, you've just proven why you're actually still somewhat of a good company, despite what people say, despite the bullshit you guys still deal. Anyway, so that was cool. That helped make my day. But we're not here to talk about my personal shit. We're here to talk about the game. As you can see, the graphics are probably some of the best I've seen for the Mario Kart franchise. They have definitely upped their game. The graphics are beautiful. I mean, like, let's do a comparison shot. Here's a shot of Moo Moo Meadows from Mario Kart Wii. Here's a shot of Moo Moo Meadows from Mario Kart Wii U, or from Mario Kart 8. Do you see the difference? Yeah, it's a difference. Big time. Now, the graphics, and they did more than just touch up the graphics a bit. We also got to talk about the music. Oh my god, the soundtrack is phenomenal. I mean, Mario Kart's always been known for catchy songs, and, you have some of those memorable tracks, which, by the way, if you guys are a fan of the original Mario Kart, take a listen to the menu screen for a little while. You'll actually hear a remix of the old Super Mario Kart theme. They've kind of done that a little bit here and there over the years, but this one, it's a lot more noticeable, and I love it. The music in and of itself, though, is a great mix. You got a little jazz, you got a little electronica, you got your usual Mario Kart poppy tunes, but, like, some stages are a lot different music. They have a lot more variety in the soundtrack, which I think is good. Most noticeably, if you go to Bowser's Castle, you'll hear a rockin' heavy metal guitar playing in that one, and I thought that was really cool. So stuff like that really stood out to me. You'll still hear some familiar tracks. You'll hear some songs that sound very familiar, besides the retro tracks, which I'll get to in a minute. And the level design is definitely improved. Now, when we talk about level design, of course, we got the new tracks, which are fully designed to take advantage of the new features of this game, which I will get to when we discuss the gameplay. But what is also cool is what they did with the classic retro tracks that they have been including since Mario Kart DS. This time around, they actually, instead of just taking the original tracks, sprucing them up with better graphics, and then re-releasing them, they actually have decided to adding a couple little stage elements here and there, like they did in Mario Kart 7. They tweaked a little bit here and there to kind of make it fit with the whole hang gliding thing, but they didn't do too much to it. Mario Kart 8, very different story. A lot of the retro tracks have been completely redesigned. Best examples, there's one from the Game Boy Advance game, Mario Kart Super Circuit. And that one, the track there, is actually completely revamped from a flat track to include an anti-grav section, which I thought was really cool. And a lot of the other tracks are completely redesigned. I mean, they keep the feel of the original track. Don't get me wrong. They're not like, you will recognize enough of the track that is like, okay, it's still the same track, but there are a lot of aspects that are completely changed. Probably the most notable example of this is the Rainbow Road from Nintendo 64. Yes, that track is back. However, don't bother trying to use the old shortcut, because that won't work. And it's not just because they've, did the thing where, if you fall off the track, it's not going to let you fall all the way down. What they've actually done is, instead of it being a lap track, it's a single lap course where you go through 3 sections. So that shortcut would actually backfire on you anyway. Not necessary. So you have to play the full track, but you want to, because it's a really, really well done redesign. The major difference here is, instead of the big spiral They have a figure 8 going in there, of course, being Mario Kart and everything. If you look at the map for that track, you'll see in the top area, you'll see the little 8 there. So I thought that was really cool. Now, that's the presentation. That's the graphics and the sound, which is all well and good. Let's talk about the gameplay. Well, first things first, of course, you got your character selection. You've got a ton of characters right out the gate. I mean, pretty much everyone you could get in Mario Kart 7, you have initially. Pretty much. Now, that doesn't mean there's not a bunch of new unlockable characters. You've got, Baby Rosalina, you've got Pink Gold Peach, which I thought was really weird. But what was really shocking, and I think the one that got a lot of people's attention, was many of the Koopa Kids are now unlockable for the game, which was, wow, really? The Koopa Kids? That's a shock. So that is definitely a nice change of pace. Now, carrying over from Mario Kart 7, you will not have a simple kart choice. You actually have, you choose a kart, choose a frame, which is basically your kart, your bike, or the new thing in this game, the ATV, which is good for if you're doing a lot of off-roading tracks, so, choose wisely there. Then you choose your tires, you choose your wheels, and there's a good selection there. And then, of course, you choose your hang glider, whether it be a parachute, a glider, or something in between. So you have a lot of choices there. And this allows for a lot more customization, a lot more, personalization of what you drive. So I thought that was a really cool change of pace. I liked it in Mario Kart 7, though I do think the method to unlocking these is still a little suspect. The problem is that you have to unlock them by collecting coins in the tracks. And when you reach a certain amount of coins, you unlock a new part. The problem is that the part that you unlock is completely random. You could get some of the best kart parts in the game very early on if you're extremely lucky. Then again, you could get nothing but crap the entire time until you finally get them to the high numbers of coins. Now, that wouldn't be a problem in and of itself, but here's the other thing. When you race a track, you're only allowed to get up to 10 coins per track. Even if you collect other coins, even if you have 10 coins and you get more, those coins don't count. You only get those 10. So you've wasted those coins that you've collected after you've maxed out your 10 coins. Needless to say, that's a bullshit. So whenever you run a Grand Prix, you can only get a maximum of 40 coins per Grand Prix. Yeah, that kind of wanes on you after a while. It kind of pisses you off because it's like it takes forever. This is where online mode becomes a good friend of yours because trust me, their whole community is designed of coin farming. I know, it's weird. Now, that being said, customization is cool. Moving on. Then we get to the meat of it. We get to the main racing gameplay. The controls. Mario Kart is a game where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The controls are as smooth as they've ever been. They've not lost anything from Mario Kart Wii. It's easy to control. Even with the gamepad, it feels comfortable because the gamepad is well designed. So you're able to drive. And with the gamepad, you have a choice. You can drive with the stick, with the control sticks, and the regular style. Or, if you're feeling brave, you can use the gyroscope feature to tilt and kind of use it like the Wiimote and do it like with a wheel, make it act like a wheel. Personal preferences there, not really. I haven't had a chance to test the wheel side of it, the tilt function of it. Honestly, I don't think I'll be a big fan of it because I didn't like the Wii wheel personally, but that's just me. Some people like it, some people can use it very well, and that's all great with it. Also, another thing I like is that the buttons are well mapped. When you're using the control sticks, your left trigger, the left Z button is going to be your items. Right Z is going to be your hop/power slide button. A button is to drive. B button to brake. Though more often than not, you're probably just going to use the power slide more than you're going to brake anywhere, so don't worry about that. Now, the other cool thing is that the X button is is to look behind you. Function that, was useful somewhat in past games, but in this game, because of how easy it is to use, honestly, I think it's actually reached a point where it's actually useful. You can see behind you, see who's coming up behind you, and plan your item placement. Another cool function is on the tracks, as you go around the first or second lap, you'll start to see tire marks left behind from the previous lap. This will tell you where most of the racers are driving at. This, I thought, was clever because it allows you to manage your items better. Let's say you're in the lead and you got a banana peel on the second lap, and you're coming up on this corner and you see there's a ton of tire tracks in this one area. Drop a banana peel there and you have a better chance of hitting somebody with it. It's not a guarantee, obviously. In an online mode, it's probably not going to be as easy to do, but hey, it gives you some chances to strategize. And given the way this game normally runs, that's a good thing. Which brings us to the items. The reason why Mario Kart has been considered going downhill as of late is the way the items are handled. Well, I'm sorry to tell you that not much has changed. It's still about as bullshit as it's ever been. Of course, you've got, certain items like the Lightning Bolt and Blue Shell, which will be the bane of your existence if you're a good talented racer who tends to take the lead a lot. If you're in the back, they're probably the greatest thing since sliced bread. That hasn't changed. Now, if you are a great racer in your lead, there is one new item that is going to be your best friend if you can get it, and that is the Super Horn. The Super Horn allows you to it creates a shockwave that can take out any nearby opponents, but it has an extra function that I think was a brilliant move. It allows you to destroy any shells or other items that are coming at you, including the Blue Shell. The spiny shell is no longer the omnipresent threat that is guaranteed to bullshit your day, but that doesn't mean it's a complete rebalancing, because the rarity of the Super Horn the fact that it's very difficult to get at times. In fact, I played every single Grand Prix, all 8 Grand Prix, and I only got it a total of maybe 4 times out of the entire run. The fact that it's that hard to get pretty much means that you don't want to count on it as being your savior, because you're not going to get it. Blue shells can still kick your ass. Yeah. Now, there are a couple new items. A lot of the items carry over from Mario Kart 7, such as the Lucky 7, now called the Crazy 8, because it now adds an extra item on there. And of course, the Fire Flower. But gone is the Raccoon Leaf, which honestly, I kind of don't miss, because to be honest, it sucked. In its place are 2 new items. First is the Boomerang Flower. The Boomerang allows you to throw a boomerang, obviously, 3 times, and the first 2 times it'll come back to you. This is a great item because it allows you to throw an item, take out an opponent, and in the likely event you miss, it'll come back to you. Great for strategy. Second is the Piranha Plant, which will gobble up opponents around you and steal their coins. Always a good idea. Always good. So those 3 items come back, and again, I haven't had a chance to I've used the boomerang once in my entire run. Keep in mind I was running the 50cc when I did this, so obviously that helped. But overall, it was pretty good. I also do have to mention the gloss of the failure that is the battle mode. I haven't had a chance to play it, but obviously, if I already know what I'm getting myself into. No thanks. Fuck you, Nintendo. So that's my thoughts on Mario Kart 8. Great game, still good. And we're going to be using it for game night? Oh, hell yes. I definitely think it's going to be worthy of game night. So stay tuned for that, but I want to give you guys my quick thoughts on this. Hope you enjoyed. And until then, this is The Shades, and we'll see you next time. Rock on!